You're watching Fox Sports.
Hello everyone and welcome to our coverage of the Qantas International Gymnastics Championships. This is the one and only test event for the Sydney Olympics, and it's attracted the world's best gymnasts, all anxious to get a feel for this Olympic venue, the Sydney Superdome. Over the next couple of days, we'll be featuring the men's and women's artistic gymnastics as well as the rhythmic gymnastics. But today, it's the men's in the spotlight, and they're battling for individual all-round honours. We've got 13 countries represented, including some of the world's superpowers. It's going to be such an exciting night of competition. Joining me in commentary is Steve Robilliard and Liz Chekovich.
Well, this is an exciting moment, really, as international gymnasts get a look for the first time at the venue that will host the Olympics. And I think Liz Chekovich, it stands up there with the best.
Certainly does. We've got some terrific gymnasts tonight. Japanese, fourth as a team at last year's World Championships, and they'll be pushing for a medal. Of course, they were the dominant team through the 60s and 70s, winning 5 Olympic gold team medals in a row.
And waiting for the green light from the judges, Yoshihiro Saito.
On floor exercise tonight from Japan, Yoshihiro Saito.
And opening very cleanly with a combination pass. Second combination pass, and once again landing very well. Those combination passes extremely difficult to control. Oh, and a little bit of a bubble there. He clipped his foot as he came through. Steady enough in his planche position. And the small bending of the support leg during that scale, ideally he needs to be quite still. Last line now, pull in, back out, stays inside the floor, so that's a good start for Saito.
Just had a little bit of a problem with the flares on the floor, the Thomas flares that they've adopted from pommels to floor. He got through his 3 tumbling passes well. .23, and his club is the Daiwa Bank.
Just watch as he comes through. He comes up to handstand all right. Just watch that bottom leg as he bangs it on the floor, and I think he's going to lose quite a few tenths for that. Last line, full in, back out, and not too much to deduct for on that landing.
And across now to pommels, and Australia's Pavel Mamin. Something of a veteran, Liz, at 28.
Yes, he took quite a long break from gymnastics in his early 20s, and he's recently come back to being an all-round competitor. Of course, specialised in rings, winning the rings title at the Commonwealth Games, but no slouch on pommel horse.
Scored an 8.525 on pommels in the Australian Championships in the all-around.
There he goes with his scissors, wants to get the hip nice and high. And a good routine up through the handstand, which is a requirement.
And a clean dismount from Pavel Mamin. Moscow born, but we very much claim him as our own these days.
A little bit low in the hips as he's swinging through. You can see a small pike there. Ideally, he wants to have his body a little bit higher as he swings through. And watching in those scissors for the hip to be as high as the shoulder.
Peter Nikiferow of Germany. Lives in Berlin.
Opening with a very nice Maltese. Could have held it for a little bit longer and has a small swing going. Controlling the handstand. Very nice work.
The shoulder's very straight on the crucifix.
Bent arm, straight body press to handstand. Forward swing to handstand. Dismount only and sticks it. That's a really good way to start for him.
Well, nice to get the tough one out of the way early, as Nikiferow must do. 28 years old now.
Somewhat of a veteran. 24th all around at this year's World Championships, so he's still doing very well.
Another German competitor on rings, Sven Kwiatkowski.
Germans traditionally have been very, very strong on rings.
Andreas Becker, is he still competing these days, Liz?
He is. He actually just came back at World Championships in China and he looked fantastic. It's amazing how long he's been around. I think he started competing at world level in the 80s sometime. And he still looks like he could be a feature in the all-around for the Olympic Games if he makes their team, of course. He was the high bar gold medalist in Atlanta. So a good tradition of gymnastics in Germany.
Kwiatkowski from Chemnitz. Representing, I guess, the younger breed coming through in Germany at 22.
A little bit high in that inverted cross. You need to see the shoulders level with the rings so that he'll be penalised for that mistake. And there's the Gazorki, which is a double back holding onto the rings. Very popular move these days.
It's got them pretty steady too. Although the swing started now as he prepares for the dismount.
And sticks it as well. So the Germans off to a great start.
Yes, Nikiferow and now Kwiatkowski getting through their rings routines pretty cleanly.
And here we can see just losing a bit of control and arms ever so slightly bent. And, well, we didn't see the bottom part of that, but his shoulders were rather low.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing Naoya Tsukahara.
Quite an amazing gymnast, really. He's only been in 2 World Championships and he's had 2 all-around medals. 3rd place in '97 and climbed up to 2nd place in '99. As we mentioned before, of course, a very famous father. 5 Olympic golds, 4 World Championship gold medals and a host of other awards. One of the greatest gymnasts of all time. And his son is following hotly in his footsteps. Wouldn't it be a great thing if he were to win a gold medal? I don't know how many sports would have father-sons winning gold medals at Olympic Games.
Oh, don't ask me. Yep.
And on 4 exercise, please welcome from Japan, Naoya Tsukahara.
Well, a especially warm hand for Naoya Tsukahara.
I mentioned before, from a very, very famous gymnastics family. His father has 5 Olympic golds, 4 World Championship gold medals, and this young lad has a possibility to follow in his footsteps. Opening beautifully there with a high tumble. Whip half, front full, 1.5, a little bit of a bobble on the landing.
They did well to keep in the area, Tsukahara.
Another combination pass. We're going to see a lot of these combination rows. They pick up quite a lot of bonus points for putting those elements directly together. Nice planche position. Perhaps could have held it a little bit straighter, stronger. And a lovely double straight, unfortunately going out of the floor area, but technically the double straight was very nice. So a difficult program. The floor is
not really the best start for Tsukahara. He suffered that deduction for stepping out of the area on the last pass.
Floor is actually the most difficult apparatus to score high on. Hard to build the bonus points. And here we can see the double out rising nicely, but hiking down just at the end, and the step outside, of course, the 0.1 deduction.
And Tsukahara can still smile. Started gymnastics quite late, really, at 10 years of age. Alexander Svetlichnyi of the Ukraine. And the various Russian states have churned out some memorable gymnasts over the years. And Svetlichnyi will be on the rings in a moment.
The Ukraine team doing relatively well at the moment. 7th as a team at World Championships, so they have qualified a full contingent for these Olympic Games this year. Very steady start. Once again, those inverted crosses, very difficult to find a good shoulder position. Needs to go down lower. Manages it just at the end. Very nice.
Have to hold these strength positions for long enough too, don't they, Liz, to let the judges know they were in control?
Certainly do. I mean, the required amount is 2 seconds, but if they can hold them a bit longer and show the judges a point. Gee, the landings are good on rings tonight. Everyone's showing good control.
So very smooth and powerful performance from Alexander Svetlichnyi of Ukraine.
On floor exercises representing Japan, Tatsuya Yamada.
Now, Tatsuya Yamada, third of the Japanese competitors, all in Group A.
They brought out quite a contingent here to Australia. Came out for a training camp as well as this competition and brought another 5 lads who competed in the Australian Championships. So they're very serious about their efforts this year. Wide arm press to handstand. Nicely held.
Could have kissed the floor.
Just about. Two and a half twist, front half in pike position. Bit of an interesting combination.
Just struggling to find the corner though, isn't he, on the end of his tumbling rows?
Yes, a little bit off direction. Pull in, back out. Small shuffle backwards, but nothing too serious.
Tatsuya Yamada of Japan. All 3 Japanese competitors look like very accomplished tumblers.
They do. They're handling these front tumbles very, very adeptly. They look easy when they're done well, but it's very easy to get off direction.
Some modest sized crowd in on the first night of the International Challenge, but this place will be jumping come the Olympics. The very familiar face of Brennan Dowrick, and one of his better disciplines too, Liz, pommels.
Yes, he's excellent on pommels. Of course, we all remember the 2 gold medals that he's won at Commonwealth Games on this apparatus. He had a fall during the National Championships here, so we're hoping he can find his balance and get through the routine start to finish. He's got a very well-composed routine. 7 World Championships behind Brennan, 2 Olympic Games. He's been the most decorated, I suppose, Australian male gymnast of all time in terms of representation for his country.
Brennan Dowrick on pommels. Very much a